Hi guys, and welcome to episode 10 of Auntie Dani Knits. I'm your host Dani, and you can find me on Ravelry as Lanois, that's Lanois, or on Instagram as Danielle Lanois. You may hear little clicky sounds again today. The puppies are once again wandering around. Hopefully they'll settle down pretty quickly and you won't hear them anymore. Let's talk about what I've finished. So the first thing I've finished is a pile of little baby hats. These are the NICU noggins that I'm knitting for the Into the Wool Fiber Retreat. I did 5 of them in the last couple of weeks. I've got one that's a navy blue with little speckles. I've got 3 that are this eye-searing pink, and it's blowing out the camera a little bit, but it's still not nearly as eye-searing as it is in real life. They're very bright. And then this little blue one with a stripe of the eye-searing pink. But nothing too fancy, nothing you haven't seen the basics of before. But I have hit my goal of knitting 50 little NICU noggins for the retreat, so I'm pleased with that. The second thing I finished, I'm actually wearing. These are my Memories hand warmer pattern. I'm calling this project the Sister Hand Warmers because when I was last up visiting my sister, we picked out 3 skeins of yarn for her little girls because they really like Auntie Dani's hand warmers and they wanted some for themselves. So this is for Bear. I still have to do the pair for Bug and the pair for Bean, but I finished them finally. They've been on the needles since, probably October of last year. So these are actually also going to go to my WIP 2017 in the Butt Challenge. So they're done. Yay, I'm excited to have them off the needles. What else did I finish? I finished a bunch of swatches. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw these. I'm only going to hold up one here to give you an idea. I swatched like a crazy woman. You can see the little tags that I made. I swatched a whole pile of samples from the book Cast On, Bind Off. It's by Leslie Ann Bestor. This is probably my most used knitting reference. I really, really like it. And I'll tell you a little bit more about it in a bit, but I cast on and bound off a bunch of swatches based on those different types. So that was another big undertaking, but the one that I'm really pleased with is my Palmer top. It's a pattern by Alicia Plummer, and I'm going to put in a picture here. And that's what it looks like on me. It's really, really long. I thought my gauge was right. My gauge may have ended up being a little off, but I think that I'm also not quite as big as I think I am. I think I probably should have gone down a size. I believe I made the 36 to 38 inch size, and I really should have gone down a size. I was afraid of being too tight, and that's definitely not the problem. Let me show you. I've got the top here, and it's really nice. I used Dana of Unwind's Journey sock in the Lake Francis Sunrise colorway. I knit it on US 6 needles, and I really like it. It's really vibrant. The colors are nice. They really do remind me of the sunrise at Lake Francis. I used just shy of 2 skeins. I used all but 11 grams, and I alternated skeins every row, and you can see my little seam that runs up the inside there. But on the outside, you can see the little blip in color, but there's no textural difference on the outside, so I'm pleased with that. I did go down to a US 3 to do the ribbing around the edging and the sleeves, the neckline and the sleeves. And that was because when I tried it on, it was too big. Not a whole lot, but just enough that I felt it looked a little bit sloppy. But the big problem I had was the armholes. They came like way down the side of my chest. Like, well, if I leave them like this and don't do anything about that, there's no way I can wear it without like a t-shirt or something underneath it, because it was a lot of extra space. But going down to the 3, really pulled in those armholes. They don't look puckered or anything as far as I can tell. Like, it doesn't look like I've really sucked in the fabric or anything. But it really just tightened it up enough so that it wasn't pulling and stretching out, because this is a lot of fabric. It gets kind of heavy. It's almost 200 grams. So, you know, there's a lot pulling on those little straps. I think if I had to do it again, I'd go down a size. But what I ended up doing was, because it was too big around, the circumference was too big for me. When I blocked it pretty aggressively, and I blocked it long. So as you saw in the pictures of me, it totally covers my butt, comes partway down my thighs, which actually is good, because that means that I can wear it with a pair of little leggings or capri leggings and be really comfortable doing that. I don't like wearing leggings with like a cropped shirt or a short normal length t-shirt. If I'm going to wear leggings, I want something long. So that actually works out really well. And by stretching it that way, it brought the fabric in this way. So it fits way better around the chest and waist and everything. But I think I will knit this pattern again. It was super easy and it knit up really quickly, and I like it. But I think next time I knit it, I'll go down a size, and I won't knit the body quite as long, but I knit the body to length. I just really blocked the crap out of it. So I'll follow the pattern pretty much exactly. I'll just, you know, go down a size so that it's not quite as wide. I'll bring it down to a smaller circumference, and I think it'll fit really beautifully. But I'm really pleased. This was pretty much my main project for the last 2 weeks, because I really wanted to get it done. Number 1 for Stash Dash, which ends on the 20th of August, and also for the Into the Wool Spotlight Knit Along, because I got points for this. I got points for the yarn from Dana of Unwind. I got points for the pattern by Alicia Plummer. I also used a stitch marker and a bag from Rick of Whimsy Stitches, and I used a progress keeper from Ashley of Twist Fiber Studio. So I got 5 points, which is the maximum you can get for a project. But it's nice. It's soft. I wore it for a little while this morning so that Jim and I can take some pictures of it. But I think I'm going to probably, I don't know, I was thinking of putting it away until Into the Wool so it could be all nice and shiny and pretty, but you know what? I have the ability to wash it and block it again, so maybe I'll just wear it. I'll wear it with my cute little leggings while it's still hot here. I know a lot of people say, oh, it's wool. Isn't that going to be like super hot to wear in the summer? That doesn't seem to bother me, especially because it's short-sleeved. And it's so cold everywhere that's air conditioned. I mean, every store puts on their AC super high. So, you know, I'll be hot going from the house to the car, and even then not that hot because I have a covered garage. I'll be a little bit uncomfortable maybe going from the car to whatever building I'm going into, but once I'm inside, I may even want to put on a sweater. But there's so many colors in this that I totally have sweaters that I can wear over top of this to match. I probably have at least 3 that I can think of. I've got a nice bright orange one, I've got a bright pink one, I've got a nice forest green. Those will all look really nice. So I can absolutely throw on a sweater over this to go to the store in the summer because the South. So that is what I have finished. Oh, and my Stash Dash. So with the Palmer, with the hand warmers, and I am counting those swatches because they were cast on and they were bound off. And I used 2.5 balls of yarn. It was acrylic, granted, and nothing crazy expensive, but 2.5 balls of yarn to make all those swatches. So with all of that, my Stash Dash total is currently sitting at 10,549 meters. So yay! I hit the 10K goal, which was sort of my main goal for this year. I've hit it in the past Whether or not I actually get on the forums and post everything in the Stash Dash thread, that's up for debate whether that'll actually happen or not. But I know that I hit my goal, and that makes me really happy. I'd sort of wanted to hit 15K, but I don't think it's going to happen. I'll probably get some more if I finish up some of my current whips by next Sunday. That's pushing it. That's pushing it. I'll probably finish up a bunch of little things, but nothing that'll get me another 4,500 meters. I don't have anything close enough to finishing to reach that. And speaking of what I'm working on, let's talk about my whips. I don't have a whole lot that I'm working on. Like I said, the thing that I've been working on most this past week was the Palmer, because I really wanted to get that done, and I did, so I'm really happy about that. But that took up most of my knitting time. The little NICU noggins are what I work on during my lunch breaks. And yeah, that's all that I've been working on, was the Palmer in the evenings and the NICU noggins on lunch breaks. And the sister hand warmers. These I worked on in the mornings. I like to get up in the morning and go for a walk, but it's been raining, and I don't like walking in the rain at 6:30 in the morning. It's just too dark and drizzly, and I don't feel comfortable walking in the semi-dark in the rain. It's just not my thing. So those mornings that I've woken up anyway, I'll come and sit in my craft room and knit for the 20 minutes that I'd normally be walking. Yeah, I really should, do some yoga or stretching or something, but I didn't, so. But back to whips. I've done some spinning. So this fiber is from Dana of Unwind, the Unwind Yarn Company. It is the Teeny Bikini colorway, and it was Polworth and Tussa Silk. So this was I think the first Polworth that I've spun, and it was nice. I had a little bit of a problem with some of the fiber being compacted, but that is because I bought it in 2014 and it's been sitting in a bin. So that is nothing about the fiber and everything about my fiber storage. But even then, it wasn't bad. It just took a little bit more pre-drafting in a few little areas, mostly near the beginning and the end of the braid. But I've got my single spun. There's a big size difference in the amount of fiber that I've got on the two bobbins. And I'm not sure why, because I weighed it out and the two chunks of fiber weigh exactly the same. And I swear I didn't take that long in between spinning the two, so I don't think my technique would have changed all that much. But I guess we'll see when I apply. Yeah, we'll really just have to see when I apply what happens. Hopefully it's just a matter of where I moved the fiber as I was going back and forth loading the bobbin, and I was just more efficient with this one, and this one had extra bumps. I don't know, we'll see. I've also been spinning on my Hidden Passion. That was my loop bullseye bump, and I am I'm looking at it across the room there. I'm gonna say maybe a quarter finished with my plying. It's staying on the wheel right now. I'm not gonna bring it over because I'm chain plying, and I mean, I hate stopping a chain ply in the middle anyway. I'd be happiest to just sit down and ply the whole thing all the way through, but that's a lot of fiber because I spun it fairly fine. It's coming out to, I would say, a light fingering-ish weight. I'll know better once I've got it all, once I finish plying it and washed it and all of that. I'm hoping that I'll finish that one before the end of Stash Dash. Judging by the last two loop bats that I've spun, I'll probably have about 500 yards or so from that one. So that would be, that'd be nice. I'd probably get close to 11,000 meters Still nowhere near the 15, so I'm happy with my 10. The other thing that I've been working on, I cast on today, because when you bind something off, the next thing you do is cast on something new, right? Even if you have a closet full of projects, something new. But this is going to be the Bon Bon Toque by Tin Can Knits, and I am probably a little bit over halfway done with it already. It's just flying. I love cables. I didn't think I was going to be a cable girl ever, but I like them. Last summer? Was it last summer? Maybe the year before. It was at one of the Into the Wool retreats. I think it was last year. I took one of the little breakout sessions with Dana and learned how to cable without a cable needle. So all of these cables, bring that up nice and close so you can see, those have all been done without a cable needle. And it's just, this is actually a cable cable 8. So I've got 8 stitches that I'm messing with. And I'm doing that without a cable needle, which when I first learned about cabling would have terrified me to even consider working with 8 stitches without a cable needle. But it's not bad. The yarn is Malabrigo Rios, so it's a nice yarn. It's not super toothy, but it's got enough grip to itself that it's not like laddering down when I slip the needle out. So it's working out really nicely, and I love these colors. The colorway is Anniversario. I'm gonna pop it on because, yeah, I've got, I think, one more set of cable-y things before I do the crown decreases. So it's actually probably going to come down further than I normally wear my hats, or maybe be a little bit slouchier than I generally like, but I like it. It's soft, it's pretty colors, and I'm pleased with it. And it is living in a bag that I'm going to show you in just a second when we talk about what I've bought. Alright, had to take a minute there and fix my hair. Hats do that to you. So I have 2 acquisitions this week. The first is that Malabrigo Rios in the colorway Anniversario. It is, it's just a joy to work with. It's merino superwash, 210 yards per 100 grams, and it's just really pretty. I've got it in the cake here. So it's purple. It's a more pinky toned purple, but it's got flashes of blues, and I don't know if you can see, there's little bits of green. It's really nice. It's Malabrigo, and this is the sort of color they do really well, where it's mostly one color, but it's got a bunch of other similar bits thrown in, and it's beautiful. It works together really nicely. So that is one of my acquisitions. And the second thing was a bag that I bought from Twist Fiber Studio. It is just a nice little zipper bag with bright blue flowers. I love the little handle claspy things. It's so much easier to bring my knitting in and out of the house, in and out of the car with one of these, because I just throw it over my wrist with the 27 other bags that I carry. I'm a bag person. But I'm so pleased I got this. So she does beautiful work. This one is just lined with a white fabric, but it's got really nice little seams and just a zipper closure. So I'm really pleased with this. That is what I purchased. Look at me. I only came home with 1 extra skein of yarn this week, or this last 2 weeks. I'm very pleased with myself. Is that bad that I feel restrained only bringing in 1 skein of yarn? But I'm also knitting with it, so it's going to be used up, I hope, by the next time I podcast. So there's that. And that's all that I bought. So on to other things. So I mentioned this book earlier, this Cast On, Bind Off by Lesley-Ann Bestor. And I really like it. It says it's 54 step-by-step methods for casting on and binding off. There are 33 cast-ons and 21 bind-offs. And yeah, I knit through this book. I cast on everything except for the Mobius cast-on, because honestly, at that point I was getting tired and running out of time and running out of steam. But I used all the cast-ons and all the bind-offs to make a bajillion little swatches, and the reason I did that was because this weekend I actually did a mini class at my local yarn shop, and she has copies of this book that she's selling, and I sat there. I only had 2 students, but that was fine. That was a good start. This is the first time I've ever taught a little knitting class like that, but we talked about cast-ons and bind-offs, and we went through the very basics. We did the backward loop cast-on, and we did the long tail cast-on, and then we did, I think, 3 or 4 other variations of the long tail cast-on, or cast-ons that are very similar to that. And then we did the traditional bind-off, and Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind-off, and we did one other. Oh, we did a Pico bind-off because they wanted to see what that looked like. So that was great. Both of these ladies in the class were really nice. They were adventurous beginner to intermediate knitters. Both of them had been knitting for a little while, but they each basically had one cast-on that they knew and one bind-off, which is not unusual. For a long time, I was a one cast-on, one bind-off kind of girl. And it was really nice to sit down with them. So they knew how to knit. It wasn't like I was telling them something in Greek. They understood the words. You know, they understood what I meant by, you know, insert your needle purlwise, insert your needle knitwise, yarn over, things like that. They understood the terminology. It was just methods they'd never tried before. And they came away with little swatches. And I think they were genuinely pleased to have learned something new. And I had a lot of fun with it. Go. This is one of the munchkins that's been walking around. This is Hershey. She does not like being up here. She likes to be in a lap, but she doesn't want to be looking at the camera, so I'm going to put her back down. There you go, baby. All right. So what else? This is a short one today, guys. I'm sorry. I hope you weren't expecting a whole lot out of me today. I haven't done a whole lot other than that Palmer tank. Normally I feel like I've got more things that I've been working on. Or maybe I just babble a lot more and I'm feeling very succinct today. I don't know. Last thing to show you is the nail polish. Of course you've seen it as I've been holding things up, but I used 2 different polishes. The first one is OPI in La Positively Hot. Let's get that the right direction. I don't know if it's going to focus or not. Ooh. Nope. I'm not going to be able to see that, but the color is La Positively Hot. And then a new one that I got, it's Bitsy nail color, and I picked this up at my local Sally beauty supply, and it's just a glitter polish with sort of a pinkish base, but small pink glitters and then bigger white glitters. I guess they're not really glitters because they don't sparkle. I don't know what to call the white flecks. White speckles, anyway. So that's what I did with my nails this week. If you guys don't want to hear about the nail thing, let me know. But I know that when I watch podcasters and they have fun nail polish colors, I just want to know so that, you know, I can go pick up some if I really like it. Anyway, I think that's all for this week. This is a really short one. It's only going to be like 20 minutes once I get it all edited, but that's okay. I hope you guys have had good knitting mojo in the last couple of weeks, and hope your next couple of weeks have good knitting mojo too. Take care. Bye. I used to Mia. My dog hears the motorcycle.